Hey y'all, welcome to Peyton Energetics. I'm Peyton, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the common traits of starseeds. So if you have been wondering whether you are a starseed, we're going to talk about some of the common characteristics that starseeds share. Now, when we talk about starseeds, I always like to start out by talking about what a starseed is, because this is a fairly new term in the spiritual community, and there's a lot of confusion as to what it actually means. So when we talk about starseeds, what we are generally referring to is someone whose soul originates from another star system. So starseeds tend to be people who have a lot of galactic energy because their soul originated in an advanced and very evolved galactic civilization. The starseeds have come to Earth right now. This is a thing for a reason, because they are here to support Earth during the ascension process. So starseeds are here, and there are hundreds of millions of starseeds on the planet now, according to the guides. And they are here to bring very advanced galactic energies into the Earth grid system. So starseeds do this just by being in physical bodies. Just by going about their daily life, they are anchoring their high vibration into the Earth grid system. And what this does is it takes the starseeds' very advanced galactic energy and introduces it to the Earth plane, where it's very foreign energy. So starseeds are helping to raise the vibration of the entire planet. So that is what a starseed is, and why we talk about them so much in the spiritual community, and what they're here to do. So many people are starting to resonate with this term, with being a starseed. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at some of the common characteristics of starseeds. And this will help you just start to feel into this concept. Do you think that you're a starseed? How does this resonate with your body? Because, of course, the best way to figure out if you are a starseed is always to ask your intuition. Our goal is to always get our answers from within. So as you start to ask your intuition, your higher self, am I a starseed? Where am I from? Your intuition is going to start to answer that question for you. But in today's video, in case you are not getting a super clear answer, I'm going to share with you some of the common trends that may help indicate that you are a starseed. And if, as you try to get the answer yourself, which is always my first recommendation to people, if you need a little help with that, another way to get the answer is always to work with a galactic intuitive. They can help you get that answer very quickly. Working with me, someone like me, who can help you figure this out. But sometimes it's fun to try to be a detective yourself. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. Just talk about some of the common characteristics of starseeds and just see how this resonates with your body as you listen to this. Because your intuition is going to give you little nudges that tell you when you're on the right path. So let's jump in and talk about some of the things that we see as trends in the starseed community. Now, one of the first things that is a sign of most starseeds is that they tend to be very sensitive, very intuitive, and very empathic. And what this means is that starseeds, having that very high vibration that we talked about at the beginning, tend to be great at reading energy. They do this naturally. So a lot of times starseeds will be very tuned in to how people are feeling, even when people say they're fine. Starseeds are also really good at reading people's energy. So they'll know when they're being lied to, when they're not being told the full truth. These are things that tend to be a gift of most starseeds. And it goes with that galactic energy that the starseed carries. So starseeds are still very tapped in to their multidimensional abilities. And what this means is they will be able to see through a lot of things that the average person can't see. And this means reading people's true intentions, knowing if people are being straight with you, knowing when you are not being given the full story. Starseeds are expert at reading this. So that is one of the first things that many starseeds have in common. Now, something else that is super common in starseeds is because, as we mentioned at the beginning, starseeds have a very different energy than the average human. Their vibration is much higher. And so because of this, there can be a vibrational difference between starseeds and the average person in their life. This creates kind of an energetic separation. And the way this can play out, or how this can look, is that starseeds often report feeling like outsiders, feeling like the black sheep, like they have never fully fit into their family, their friend group, their community, and there's an energetic reason for this. It is because the starseeds have a very different frequency than the average human. And what this means is starseeds are just on a slightly different radio station. So this can cause a sense of disconnect between starseeds and denser humans in that their energies are just very different. And so people a lot of times don't know what to make of starseeds. They sense that they're a little foreign, a little alien. And this is all, of course, happening at an unconscious level, but it can create a sense of isolation for starseeds, where they feel like they're just out of step with everyone. So this is something that is super common in starseeds. And the good news is this is going to be decreasing. So as the frequency of the planet continues to skyrocket, this difference is going to start to go away. People are going to start to seek out the vibration of starseeds. It's going to feel good to them instead of feeling a little off, a little weird. And so while this has been a problem for many, many starseeds, what I think of as the black sheep syndrome is really just an energetic difference between starseeds and the average person. But it's going to start getting better. But this is something that many starseeds report. It is a huge trend in the starseed community for a reason, an energetic reason. Something else that is a very common hallmark of the starseed is that starseeds often feel like they're here on a mission. The only problem is they can't remember what that mission is. So one thing that I have noticed in so many of my starseed clients and students is that they report feeling like there's something they should be doing. They feel almost a sense of impatience about it, almost like they're late to something, but they don't know what they're late to. And this sense of feeling like there's something important you should be doing, but you don't know what it is a source of incredible frustration to many starseeds. Because as starseeds, like everyone born onto this planet, we go through the veil of amnesia, where we forget what we're here to do. And so as starseeds start to awaken, and as these planetary energies continue to roll in huge amounts, as they have been recently, more and more starseeds are getting watered, getting awakened, and starting to want to find their mission. So once starseeds awaken, one of the first things that often comes up for them is they want to connect with their mission, because starseeds often set an intention at the soul level to be of service in a very specific way. And the way this can play out in starseeds is that they feel a very deep sense of impatience, that there's something they should be doing and they just want to get on with it. So a very strong drive to connect with your mission is another one of these signs of the starseed. Something else that is a huge sign of the starseed is issues with the physical body. Now, because we have talked a couple times already about the starseed vibration being much higher than what is native to the Earth planet, that can cause certain issues when the starseed incarnates into a dense human body. And so the Pleiadians like to explain that by saying that the voltage of the starseed soul isn't always a good match for the dense physical body. So one thing that is unfortunately a huge problem in the starseed community is issues with the physical body. And this can cover a lot of ground. It can be as simple as just always feeling a little off in your body or a little uncomfortable in the physical body, to the other end of the scale where so many starseeds have just massive issues with the physical body, whether that is serious illnesses or things that can't be identified, just weirdness in the physical body, to what I love hearing from my Andromedan starseed clients, which is they just hate being in a physical body at all. So this can take many colors, many flavors, but it is something that is unfortunately very widespread among starseeds. Just some sort of struggles with the physical body. Now, another thing that is a common trait of many starseeds is having had a very rough childhood. And this goes back somewhat to what we were talking about a minute ago with how starseeds have just a different frequency than the average person, which makes them feel a little separate. But starseeds often report having a very, very rough childhood. And of course, there are many reasons that a soul would choose that experience. But according to the Pleiadians, one of the reasons why this shows up in so many starseeds is that many starseeds choose this at the soul level, of course, before they incarnated, in order to help them understand the suffering of humanity that they are here to serve. So for many starseeds, choosing at the soul level a challenging family life, especially in childhood, many starseeds have chosen this, according to the guides, to help them better understand the true nature of what humanity is struggling with. And so what better way than to choose for yourself, set up for yourself a really challenging family life. So this, again, unfortunately, is one of those things that super common among starseeds, is to have had a very challenging childhood. Now, something else that we often see in starseeds is, because of the vibration that the starseed holds being much higher than the average human, starseeds, especially after they awaken, may find that they are absolutely intolerant to any form of cruelty, injustice, oppression, any of the things that we see so much of, unfortunately, in our human collective. Starseeds tend to have zero patience for that, zero tolerance for abuse and mistreatment. And one of the reasons for that, according to the guides, is that starseeds come from very advanced star civilizations. So they know at the deepest level of their soul that this is not how civilizations and collectives should function. And so starseeds tend to have kind of a zero tolerance policy for cruelty, for abuse, for mistreatment. And they may not be able to watch movies that depict this. They may not be able to watch stories on our information platforms. They may not be able to be around people who act this way. And again, it is because the starseed often carries that understanding at the soul level of what a collective should look like, where everyone is equal. And so this can just show up in starseeds as an intolerance for any form of cruelty and any form of mistreatment. And something else that you may notice in many starseeds is that very often they will report that they just don't get humans. They may look at the world around us and think that humans are just absolute barbarians. And so this plays into what we were just talking about with the intolerance for cruelty, mistreatment, abuse, all of the things that are kind of systemic on our world right now. And so starseeds can have a little trouble understanding humanity in general, and can kind of be completely just perplexed as to why humans make the choices that they do. It may seem to a starseed like absolute insanity. And again, there is good reason for that, because the starseeds at their soul level know that this is not how collectives should operate. And so just having to interact with your average humans can be very confusing for your average starseed. And starseeds can often feel like they are watching animals at the zoo. So it can be something that just makes the starseed feel even more like they are definitely not from here. And finally, something else that is a very common characteristic within the starseed community is that starseeds often report feeling homesick for another place, even if they don't know where that is. So if you are someone who has always been homesick for the stars, for another place, even if you can't quite put your finger on it, that is one of the hallmark signs of the starseed. Because so many starseeds that I have taught and worked with over the years have reported they just know this is not their home and they just want to go back. And so this can range in how extreme it is, from just a sense of not belonging to so many starseeds who just absolutely want off of this roller coaster ride. They want to go home. So having a very strong sense of homesickness for your home star system is very common in starseeds. Even if you don't know exactly where that system is, you may know it is not here on Earth. So these are a few of the things that we see as general trends in the starseed community that crop up over and over again. So these are some great, just little hints to play with, test against your intuition to see if they resonate with you, because these are things that come up as common ground in the vast majority of starseeds that I have worked with. So let me know in the comments below, how many of these do you resonate with? Let me know that in the comments below. And while you're down there, don't forget, hit the subscribe button and a like button if you haven't done that yet. I'll see you soon. Bye.